Welcome back to another video, guys. This one has been a long time in the making and I'm still not even done with it. I'm doing a hardcore nightmare of every dungeon in the game and I cannot get hit at all. My damage must be taken 0 by the end of the dungeon. I get hit at all throughout any part of doing the dungeon, I have to restart. This has been 2 weeks in the making and has been the first half of all the dungeons in the game, which is Desert Temple through Ghastly Harbor. I'll be using the sets from the dungeon, armor, weapon, and spell-wise, and for the video, my stat points would be adjusted for the level of each dungeon. So with that being said, let's start the video so I can talk over it. Alright, to start, let's go off with some basics. So as you can see here, I'm using the Templar Lightning Strikes. I just kind of thought, beforehand, before going into every dungeon, I'd look at the abilities and see which set would probably be the best, like which class. And I decided that, Mage is the best on Desert Temple. And I think also on Winter Outpost I did. But I want to say, man, it makes you it gives you an appreciation for some things in this game, because it is hard for some of the later ones. I have to say, for the first half of these dungeons, the hardest ones were Canals and Ghastly Harbor. They're nothing compared to the later ones like Aquatic Temple, which I'm still trying to beat no hit hardcore right now. And my lord, is it not fun? It is difficult. So for these first Winter Outposts into the temple, they're going to be 3 times speed. The rest of them are going to be 2 times speed, so you can watch and see what I do if you need the help for it. But for these first 2 dungeons, it should be pretty simple. I want to say the reason why Canals was a little harder is you're not going to see every attempt. You're obviously going to see the only attempt that I completed. The reason why Canals is a little frustrating because the mages, the enemies' hitboxes are really weird. And the mages, usually they fire a straight line at where you're standing when they see you, right? But sometimes they would just mess up and shoot to the side of you. And if you have an enemy shooting in front of you and then to the side of you, you have nowhere to dodge and you just die. And they're not supposed to do that. So it was just really weird. Ghastly Harbor was the one I was dreading because it's a very long dungeon. And it was just, the second boss in it is very RNG. And so it did take a decent bit of time to finally get the no-hit, but that just made it much more satisfying. Now for Winter Outpost, I initially decided just to do Piercing Rain. A double stack Piercing Rain, but it was too close to the enemies and I got hit a lot. So I decided to switch to Searing Beam, and since the cooldowns were the same as Innervate, I just used Innervate and then Searing Beam, so I wouldn't have to do 2, which would waste time. That's what you're going to see here. It was pretty easy as a dungeon, pretty straightforward, no really hard mechanics. First tried the boss on it when I got to it. So yeah. Stop talking and let you just watch for a minute. I'll come back later. I also want to say, completely feel free to skip ahead on any part you want. I am going to have the time. If I didn't say it in the video earlier or put it on the screen or something, timestamps are going to be in the description because I know people are going to want to switch to the sea dungeons. Like if someone's struggling in canals, they're going to see the canal segment. But yeah. And, I'm just going to talk a little bit so it's not just, the game and music in the background. But the trading for this was, I had to get the sets, that you want. Because if I couldn't 2-cycle, or, 2-cycle the enemies, then it just took forever, right? Especially on the bosses. I had to do a lot of trading. It wasn't like my other solo video where I used whatever I got first. I had the legendaries. If I can get the collectibles, I'd use them. The best spells, so if I needed to use Powered Island spells for King's Castle, I would use the spells if I needed to. I didn't though. We're fine. Here's a Powered Island. I had the full godly set, Staff of God, Skull Flame for the flex, and spell power. This one was pretty easy. I think I did it I can try or something like that. Pretty goddamn simple, I have to say. Yeah. Nothing much to say here. I mean, all it took was just 1 Skull Flames. My damage was... Oh, I didn't mean to put that on the screen there, but my damage was, yeah, I did go to wave 500 and canals, get items for this video. I did more than 500 waves. But this one was pretty easy. And honestly, all the enemies took literally 1 hit, and then the bosses were just 2 Skull Flames. because I had the full collectible set. You know, the legendary and the Skull Flames and Phantom Flames / Skull Flames is a very good spell combo. This is pretty simple. I'm gonna let you watch here for a moment. Yeah, I'm back. I wanted to say that a lot of these dungeons, when I went into them, I didn't like look up the movesets because obviously I'm level 219. I haven't done some of these dungeons in ages, right? Carrying is different from just running through and killing everything, like actually doing them. But it's a good learning experience. And I would just go in and get to the final boss and just forget like what movesets it has. For this one, I knew that the one I needed to look out for was the trail one. And, you know, because I have alright memory. So I knew that it would just do the trail first. I knew when he went invisible, he would go on top of you. So it wasn't really that hard. You know, just do that. I mean, actually, I'm talking over this, but apparently I didn't even get. Well, guys, I don't know if you heard that. I may have edited it out, but my family just came in all of a sudden. Forgetting food. But, God, I spelled fish food everywhere. If you were in my Discord, which by the way, it's in the description, is 200 members now and it's growing. And you can go there for stream, content, raids, giveaways, anything. You'll know if you join the Discord. But I posted in the images section, I have a fish on my desk now. His name is Salem. He's a unique beta fish. And, yeah, so he's pretty cool. I just spilled his fish food absolutely everywhere to vacuum. But besides that, King's Castle, right? This one took me, I think, a few tries. Not that many, actually. There's nothing really too hard about this dungeon. Like, the Beastmaster is honestly the hardest part. It took me, like, a decent little tries to get past him. Because, sometimes you just get clipped. But, yeah. Sorry, I'm saying so much. I gotta stop. It's a bad habit. But yeah, I'll let you guys watch for a little bit. So I'll see you in a second. But yeah, this boss, pretty much all you have to do is just walk sideways the whole fight, and you'll be fine no matter what attack he does. Just walk sideways. You'll be completely fine, so it's a pretty easy boss. Yep. Like that. And bam. Dead. Easy, right? Alright, guys, Underworld. This is when I thought it might actually get difficult because I remember when I, first got to Underworld, and the second boss gave me a lot of trouble because it's like it was a very tight space. Didn't turn out being that much trouble at all. Actually, Underworld was one of the easier ones out of all of them. The Rending Slice is extremely good. I mean, it just like, even when I had an alright, like nearly just bad set, it cleared out the enemies. Like, it took a little second, but the spell is really good. They would just die. And I even can one-shot the mini-boss or one-cycle the mini-boss with it. By the mini-boss being that little dude right there. Not the actual bosses. Yeah, there's nothing really too much to talk about. I was kind of shocked. I thought that, like, I had... Okay, no, I remember there I actually did have the wrong weapon on. I was using the Beastmaster Spell Scythe. I swapped it for the Dual Phoenix blades or daggers, whatever they're called. But I was still, like, even with the Spell Scythe, I was literally one-cycling them, which was crazy. And then I realized my mistake, and I was like, oh man, and now I do even better damage. So the damage in this dungeon it's a very easy dungeon. If you're a warrior, at least. That's the class I did it as. Besides that, nothing really just gave me too much trouble. I did it within the first few tries. Failed on the main boss once, because got too close to the sun and I died when it was one hit. Yeah, there's nothing too much to talk about. I'll let you guys watch for a minute. Alright guys, look at this one, right? Samurai Palace. This one I was really worried for. I actually ended up getting the legendary out of it, just like trying to get the armor. Crazy thing is, I was doing wave defense for, like, the up dungeons up to Ghastly, right? And I got a legendary in almost every single dungeon within the first 100 runs. It was crazy. I got so many extra legs out of that. Luck was insane. This one, I learned a lot of things, and one of the things I think a lot of newer players aren't doing is they're just like sticking to one or two, like one spell the whole dungeon, right? When for certain bosses, you're going to be at range and not like right up in their face. And that's why I thought Miyamoto Musashi, right, the last boss in this dungeon, would be a lot of big problem, right? Because he is, if you get close to him, you're done, right? He does a lot of damage. He has a spin attack. He summons someone that is very fast, like they go chase towards you. You get caught up, like being close to him, you're done for. And that's why I changed up a couple of spells. Only for the last boss, I did Lava Lash and the spinning attack. Because I knew I didn't need like full speed, and I wanted to be able to attack him at distance so I wouldn't be straight up in his face and risk getting hit. So I used Lava Lash, which is from the same dungeon. It just has a longer range. It doesn't give speed, So that's why I thought it would be a good fit. But for everything else in this dungeon, you can just circle around them and do There we go, guys. Almost at the main boss. This is when I put on the lava lash. You know, of range. You'll see what I mean. Doesn't do bad damage. I think it's an insane one. Insane spell, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, Miyamoto Musashi, I was really worried about this boss. I thought it would give me a lot of trouble, but luckily I got it. Like, first try I got to him. Yeah, you see that dude, he summons in, it barrels towards you. If you get caught up near him, you can't outrun him. And I didn't want to get too close to him because he summons him right next to his feet. And he does the spin attack, which is impossible to dodge if you're right next to him. So for this one, you're kind of required to do range. Unless you want to get like one hit in every 20 seconds. But yeah, other than that, pretty simple, pretty easy. Didn't give me much trouble. And now we're on to, I think, Now's. Yes, Now's. Oh my god, guys, this dungeon. You're not going to see it, because obviously this is me not getting hit, and I'm not going to show you a run where I get hit. But the little mages in this thing are just... See right here, they shoot right at you. But every now and then, they'll just like shoot to the side, and you're just going to get hit, and you can't do nothing about it, and it's unpredictable. One cool thing I found is a lot of spells you think you have to use one after another, but you can just stack them at the same time, which kind of looks cool. For this boss, I'm doing okay. For Canals, I did Blade Revolver for the enemies because the melee dudes, little NPCs that go around, they have a very big like hit radius, so they'll hit you even if you're like not that close to them. So it's really risky to use Blade Storm or yeah, Blade Storm when you're around them, which is the speed spell, because you're gonna risk getting hit a lot of the time. And if you just double stack the Blade Revolver like this, and you'll be fine at a distance. That's why I did that. But for the bosses, I switched to Blade Storm because you have speed, and I didn't need to worry about getting hit from close. So you're gonna see that here. This boss is just really simple. Nothing too difficult about it. Go, and I'm gonna switch back. Kind of cool too. It's kind of like a automatic gun, you know. It's really cool to use two spells like that. This part right here I died a few times at the enemies right next to them, mainly because I'd get caught up while trying to turn away from attacks, and it would they just catch up to you fast, and I got hit a lot from that. But nothing really competes to the dungeons later in the game. I mean, guys, have you seen... Orbital Outpost gave me a run for my money. But Aquatic Temple, that is by far going to be the worst dungeon to do. I tried it already like 20 times. I got past the main boss twice. Like, it is bad, guys. Bad. But you'll see that in the later video. At least that. I was planning on actually releasing all of them at the same time. Like, so it'd be like one big video. But then it'd be like a 40-minute video, and honestly, it would take forever, and I want to get some content out. That's why I decided to do this. Yeah, this boss is pretty easy. Nothing really too difficult about any of these bosses so far. Especially once you start having the speed spells. That was one of the things that made Orbital Outpost so difficult, is there was no speed spells, and Pulse Waves was the lowest speed spell. You know, it was in Steampunk Sewers, and it does like no damage, so it sucks. Ghastly Harbor though, man, this dungeon sucked, guys. It sucked. I had to do it so many times, really frustrating. What I came up was double pulse beams, right? I think that's what they're called. Clear out the mobs in one cycle, and you can use them both at the same time, so you don't have to worry about waiting on cooldowns. But for the bosses, I did one pulse beam and one mighty leap, so I had the speed boost and be at range. You know, it's a pretty good combo, and you're going to see that here in this dungeon, so I'll let you watch for a little. Apples. So yeah, guys, we're approaching the end of the video, and I just want to say This whole thing, I know you're not seeing all the dungeons, but I'm doing all of them, and I'm up to Aquatic Temple right now. It takes a long time, guys. Getting all the items needed to be able to do this without ripping my hair out and doing all the runs it takes, the little things you get hit by. It's very frustrating. So I would really appreciate it if you can support by subscribing, liking, commenting, especially subscribing. It's really great, and I really appreciate everything. And you know, the whole community has been really good to me, and that's why I have a Discord server now, and things are going smoothly ever since I hit 1,000. Honestly, I really appreciate everything, and that's just what I want to say. And as you can see here, you know, it's not really too difficult. Once you do the dungeon a few times, guys, I know if you're stuck at them, you have to like analyze patterns and realize what works and what doesn't. And sometimes things are going to be RNG and you have to get over it. It's frustrating. Second boss in Ghastly is RNG. I will say for this Sea Serpent, I did use double Mighty Leap because I wanted to be constantly fast the whole fight. There's no really big reason to be at range here because you're so close to the boss anyway. And I pretty much just completed it by circling the boss and using Mighty Leap the whole time. Yeah, we're coming to a conclusion. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you if you watched any of my other videos. Discord down below if you want to be part of the community. Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. Stay nice out there. Respect your mother, and see ya.